Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to do an unboxing and an initial review of a new pistol that's been recently offered on the United States market. And I'll give you guys a couple hints. It draws inspiration and some of the same design features as the Serrations service pistol HS-2000. It is chambered in 9mm and it takes SIG 226 mags, and it has something to do with the Philippine National Police. So now that I've got your interest, let's take a look at what I have here. So this is the SDS Imports Tisas Zigana PX-9, and this is going to be the first time I take a look at it, and we're going to do like I normally do, just look at everything. I'm going to give you my initial thoughts and impressions, and you can be sure there'll be follow-up reviews on this pistol later. So, I recently bought this from Classic Firearms. The price was $279.99 plus shipping and FFL, of course. So, to me, that puts this in a budget pistol category. So, let's see what we have here. We have a complete kit with a hard shell, plastic case, custom foam, inserts for a whole bunch of stuff. So, take a look at that, and we're going to go through everything that we have here. So it looks like I have a basic cheap cleaning brush, a little cleaning rod, which those are cool, right? I also have, they packed it nice and tight in the foam, I can tell you that. We also have a magazine, a speed loader, and this is branded Tisas 9mm. And with this being a Tisas, this is obviously a Turkish-made pistol. We have the pistol that comes in the package in a holster. The other part of the holster is right here. This seems to be a belt attachment style holster. And we have a couple of extra back straps. So let me move this aside and let's take a look. So let's first take a look at this holster. Right away, I can see it's a polymer holster, and it has retention to it. It's not just going to slip out of here. This is not a friction fit holster. And I'm noticing right away, there's a little release lever right here. See that? So you're just going to simply grip the pistol like you normally would, put a little bit of upward pressure, just like you're going to come up and grip the pistol with your middle finger, and it slides right out. And then upon reinsertion of the handgun, locks right in place. So try that one more time for more of a drawing position. Basically just grab the pistol like you're going to pull it out. It automatically releases this lever. So, nice. We have a full retention holster. Don't know if this is, high enough quality to use for duty or not, but as of right now, it appears to be just fine. So, I think that's pretty cool right off the bat, because as you guys know, retention holsters can cost a little money, and we're at $279 for this whole package. So far things are looking pretty cool, right? And then we can see that we have our attachment here, screw. It's just gonna hook on there for you to attach with your belt. So there you go, paddle style with 2 belt loops. So yeah, it appears to be a nice little holster. It clicks in easily, good retention. Just grip the pistol naturally, and your middle finger is automatically going to push up on there, draw the pistol, and if you're keeping your finger right along here, it is going to naturally stay out of the trigger guard, which is where we want it to be, right up there on the frame of the pistol, nice and safe. So, yeah, excited about this holster so far, to be honest with you. Pretty cool. All right. It's going to take me a minute to get through this review because there's such cool stuff in here, actually. Alright, so right off the bat I showed you guys, and this is something that the importer SDS, they tout this as styled after or similar to another very famous pistol. And this is the HS-2000. This is an original one made in Croatia. There's been another company that has been bringing these in the United States for many years that you may know better. I don't really talk about that company due to something that they did, but you know what? If you like their pistols, that's fine. That's not what this video is about. But we're just going to kind of take a look at it and say that, yeah, it does appear right off the bat to be modeled very similar to the HS2000. And I'll do a video later that kind of breaks these down a little more. I just wanted to get that right out in the open because this is something that they're talking about in the marketing for this Zigana PX-9. So, what do we have here? Well, we have a 9mm polymer frame, striker fired pistol, made in Turkey. It features two 15-round 9mm magazines. I'm going to talk more about these magazines in a little bit, but I already let it slip earlier. These are SIG P226 pattern mags, so maybe you have some extra mags for these for either your SIG or, in my case, my Taurus G3 and Taurus G2C. So that was one of the main things that attracted me to buying this pistol, actually. So, typical fare here. We have a slide release right here on the side. Pressing it down does close on an empty chamber, empty magazine. That's pretty cool. And whereas the HS2000 has a backstrap safety and a trigger blade safety, but no frame safety, this Tisas Zigana, they switched it up a little bit. So we're going to notice right away there's no backstrap safety. Some of you guys love these types of safeties on the back. Some of you hate it. So this could be good news for some people and bad news for others. So I'll let you guys decide whether you would rather have a backstrap safety in combination with a trigger blade safety, or with this pistol you're going to get a frame mounted safety. And this is ambidextrous. So right here we can see red means it's hot. We're going to flip that up, and we can also see this can be actuated on the right side as well. So yeah, the safety's okay. It feels like I have to use quite a bit of force to engage the safety, which is probably a good thing because you don't want to accidentally bump it on. Actually, quite a bit of force, to be honest with you. That's good. As far as brushing it off with my shooting hand, I shoot right-handed, so let's see how it sweeps down. It's okay. I'm not able to really sweep it up unless I kind of dig in down here. So yeah, I'm definitely having to take my grip off of the handgun to be able to engage the safety, which really isn't a big deal to me because I'm never in a hurry to engage my safety. Whereas out of the draw, off the holster, let's put this in the holster, on safe. We can see that it's on safe right there. I may want to draw, swipe, and remove the safety, which was very easy and very natural. So the frame mounted safety feels fine to me. This is a low profile on both sides. You can see there's a little bolster there on the polymer on both sides, and that's to keep you from inadvertently swiping up on it. So in theory, if you were just to accidentally push up a little bit here, this isn't going to go. That little lip of plastic kind of glances your thumb up just a little bit. You have to conscientiously really kind of push. It's always hard to do on camera, guys, but you have to conscientiously push up on the safety and know that you're engaging it. So wanted to talk about the safety right away because that does make this pistol different than many polymer striker fired guns. Very few of them, if you think about it, actually have a frame mounted safety, whereas the trigger safety has kind of become more the dominant thing. So yeah, some of you guys may like that. Again, some of you might not, but so far I think it's okay. It's definitely doable, easy to brush off. I really don't feel like I'm going to accidentally take it off. Now let me get a grip on the handgun, how I would hold it. And this is where I would have my trigger finger in the ready position, and even then it's going just above my finger, nice and almost recessed or flush, low profile at the very least. It's not inhibiting me at all, and my thumb is sitting right below it, so the ergonomics are good there. Holding the slide open by pressing up on the slide stop here. We can call this a slide stop, slide release. I don't care, guys. We're just on here to have fun and maybe teach you guys a little something about the pistol. I can reach over with my thumb and let the slide come home. So the ergos are good so far. Let's see how I think it fits my hand, because this is the first time I'm actually holding this pistol, as I always do in my unboxings. So I'm just going to kind of clear my mind a little bit. Yeah, I like it. Very comfortable, actually. It has an undercut here on the trigger guard, which I really like. Just enough where my middle finger can kind of ride up a little bit. The curvature of the back strap in the frame feels very comfortable, and I feel like I can really choke up on this pistol. I can get really high on the frame, which is going to help control recoil and faster and more accurate follow-up shots. With the slide reciprocating, I'm not even close to getting any kind of slide bite, guys, so that's a good thing. And I do feel like I'm very high up on the pistol. Now, different hands, different, sizes, different ways you guys like to grip your pistols. That's what's cool about this. It comes with 3 back straps. The one that comes pre-installed, I believe, is the medium. It's also going to include the large and small, both in this case. It looks like there's just a little roll pin in the back, which is kind of standard for a lot of these. You guys can see the little hole right there. You're just going to take a little punch and just punch that roll pin right out of there. Put on either the large or the small. A lot of times what I'll do is just dry fit them and see which one I like best. Just holding the pistol, firmly so I don't lose the back strap. And then I'll decide which one and just drive that pin right through. So there you go. 3 different options of pinned in back straps. So that's nice. The magazine release comes on the left side, so set up for a right-handed shooter. If I'm gripping the pistol normally, I find I just slightly have to roll my thumb. Not a big deal. And the magazine instantly drops free. So let's show you guys that right here. Wow, just shoots right out of there. I mean, it's kind of crazy, actually. And you can see that, even upside down, look at that. Bounces it right out of there. So, very, very slick, high-polished, blued mags. And I'm going to get back to these mags in just a minute because there's something kind of curious about these mags, actually. The good thing about them is they're SIG P226 mags, but there's something not so good about these mags too, and we'll get to that in just a minute here, because there is a lot of cool stuff on this pistol I want to talk about. So we can see it has a rather squared off trigger guard. The trigger guard looks very large. It looks like with reasonable gloves, you'd have no problem shooting, just normal driving gloves, shooting gloves, whatever you guys would normally use. I don't know if I could get a big winter glove in here necessarily, but certainly pretty spacious trigger guard area there. The front is squared off and just has slight serrations. For those of you that might like to shoot like this, not how I shoot, but if you do, great. You might like that front squared off trigger guard, right? So that's pretty cool. This has a Picatinny rail in the front with 3 slots, so you should put just about any type of accessory you want to. Should fit on here just fine. So yeah. Let's go up to the slide here. We have a steel slide with a black coating. For some reason, they're not exactly mentioning the type of coating on SDS's website or Classic Firearms, simply that it's black. Now, from my experience, I'm going to say this is probably a type of nitriding, melaniting, you could call it tenifer. These are all types of nitriding. So I could be wrong on this. This is the first review, but I'm going to say that this has a nitrided slide just because that's definitely what it looks and feels like. And I would note, very smooth finish, and the overall fit and finish of the slide seems very nice, actually. Features rear cocking serrations, which they don't look fancy, but right off the bat, I'm able to grab onto them just fine, whether you're coming over the top like this or from the rear. Oh yeah, they bite in just enough, but nothing crazy. So yeah, I think these cocking serrations are definitely doable. Yeah, oh yeah. Noticing something right away, guys. If you remember my Stoeger STR9 review, I've done 2 of them, including a follow-up. I said, this is a Turkish duty pistol. Go back and watch those videos if you haven't seen it yet. You'll know what I'm talking about. And I'm noticing instantly, this has, again, a very robust recoil spring. So, moving on to the front here, we have front serrations that are kind of on the upper half, if you will. This pistol definitely has a step-down slide. Very similar, actually, to this HS2000 Croatian service pistol. So the slide is definitely kind of in 2 different steps, if you will. And we do have the cocking serrations on top. I don't normally cock my pistols from the front. I'm not even real big into press checking, but if that's your thing, I'm able to get just enough on here where I can definitely get in there just to take a peek and see if I have a round chambered. So I know a lot of you guys will like that for sure. That's pretty cool. Take a pistol a little closer. You'll definitely see that step design there. Zigana PX-9. And you're going to notice something here. And I'm going to get to this in just a minute. So don't go anywhere. There's another little surprise with this pistol that's actually, I think, pretty cool. Alright, we can see this has an exposed extractor, which also couples as a loaded chamber indicator. I'm going to test that in just a little bit here with some snap caps. This appears to have a standard Browning type action. So we have the tilting barrel action there. Browning's old design, or we could say modified Browning action that many and most semi-automatic pistols have today, right? Let's come up here to the sights. These are kind of neat. Feels like we have steel sights. Let me take a magnet to these just to make sure. And yes, we do. We have a steel rear sight and a steel front sight. Just using a magnetic flashlight here. And the rear sight is dovetailed and also adjustable, so we can adjust our rear sight. We can see it as a blacked out single notch rear sight, and the front sight has a tritium insert. So this has a front night sight, so we have a tritium sight, and this all came in the package for $279, guys. I did not buy an upgraded model. As far as I know, this is the only way they sell this pistol, actually. So tritium front sight that is also adjustable for windage and a dovetail in the front, so that's pretty cool. Tritium, and then a blacked out rear sight that's also fully adjustable. Nice. I'm also noticing here, much like the old HS2000, which the striker protrudes through the slide rear plate, this pistol's no different. And we can see they've actually put a little red paint on the back of there. So red means hot, right? So the striker is cocked and ready to be fired. We could also reach to the back of the pistol with your thumb or finger, or however you want to do it. And it protrudes out just enough where you can definitely feel it. So we have a physical striker indicator, which I always thought was a cool idea. Why not, right? Just to make sure. You know, we're going to check out this loaded chamber indicator in just a minute. You could go up and feel for a loaded round here, and then come back with your thumb. Make sure that you're completely ready to go, just in case you're going to need this pistol in an emergency, and you don't have time to necessarily press check and look, and it could be dark and all those kinds of things. So that's nice. Now, like I said earlier, we do no longer have a trigger blade safety on this particular pistol. And they actually brag that this has a one-piece trigger, right? No dingus or blade safety in there. So it's going to result in a very crisp and smooth pull. So let's see what the trigger feels like. Light pull. Let me see here. Let me do that again. Reset. Very short. Okay. My first impressions of the trigger are that it's okay. It's just okay, guys. I don't want to say it's a bad trigger. I don't want to say that it's a great feeling trigger. Now, this is a brand new pistol. Once most or many pistols are fired for several hundred rounds, the trigger kind of breaks in and can actually change a lot. And that was definitely the case with my Stoeger STR9. So, again, initial unboxing review. But right off the bat, I'm going to say the trigger's okay at best. So let's see here. I will say it's very comfortable. It has a very wide shoe, and it's contoured very comfortably around the edges. So the actual comfort of the way my trigger finger interfaces with the shoe, that's great. Now let's see what we have here. So a little bit of take up. I don't hit an abrupt wall. See, right here, it starts to stack. And then it stacks a little more, and then a little more. So it's hard to explain this, but almost like 3 different walls. So really fluid slack here. Then I feel a little resistance, a little more, and then a little more yet. Now I finally feel a wall. And it's kind of a thud. Now, I'm going to be the first to say this. And you guys know what I'm talking about that are into pistols. You know what I mean here. When you're just sitting there dry firing and you're making a YouTube video or just hanging out watching one of my videos or whatever, you notice every little idiosyncrasy, like how crisp does the trigger break? How much can you hear it? How much can you feel it? And those things seem to matter immensely when you're sitting here dry firing or making a YouTube video. But then there's real life. And I found that sometimes a trigger where I'm like, man, that's not as crisp as I'd like it to be. Because here's the deal, guys, right here. It just kind of goes thud. But when you're shooting it in real life and you're actually aiming and you have that little bit of adrenaline of, you know, recoil, noise, rounds are going off, you don't quite notice that. So I'm definitely going to tell you guys right here from a tabletop how the trigger's acting exactly the best I can. But I think we should all be realists too with any trigger. And you guys know what I mean. You notice all the little stuff when you're sitting there fooling around. But when you actually get to the range, a lot of that goes away. So right now, initial unboxing, I'm going to say this is seems like an okay trigger. When I get shooting it, I may love it to death though. So that's what the follow-up reviews are for, right? Alright, one more time. Okay, so there's some slop here, which is fine. Okay, no resistance. And then it kind of squishes again, breaks. Not really much noise, not very crisp, but kind of thuds. Let's check out the reset. The reset's actually right there. Again, kind of a thud on that trigger pull though. Let's see if you guys can hear it. Barely. I can barely hear on my end just a little click, but I don't feel it. I cannot feel the reset. Shooting, totally different thing. So far I'm going to say the trigger's doesn't feel as good out of the box as other pistols. I'll tell you that right now. Nothing like this Stoeger STR9, which is just click. I mean, you guys can tell the difference, right? Check this out. Okay? Now, let me do it this way. Thud. Shmoo. Thud. We'll see. We'll see. Right as I was warning you guys not to sit there and be a tabletop commando, I'm doing it. But hey, that's what many of you want to know, is how is this thing going to dry fire? And it's okay. Trigger pull isn't necessarily high poundage. And I will say this. The trigger shoe being one piece like this, look guys, there's nothing in there to mess with you. This is actually pretty cool. So I have a feeling, and this is just going to be a guess. I'll let you know if I was wrong or not in the next video. I think this thing's going to be one that's a lot more comfortable at the range than what you might think. Just because, again, this is nice. You get so used to all these different pistols with the little blade safeties. And these are great pistols, but let's face it. When you have a two-piece trigger, you kind of notice that up against your finger, right? I mean, here's one that we all like. Same thing, though. This one, the trigger's very, very nice as far as the feeling on the pad of my finger. Alright, enough about the trigger. For those of you that aren't too bored already, we'll move on to a couple other things. So, this has a 4.5 inch cold hammer forged barrel, so that's definitely a good thing. I'm never going to complain about a cold hammer forged barrel, that's for sure. Same thing, I'm going to assume this has some kind of nitriding, melaniting. You guys can call it whatever you want, but nitrided barrel, I think. There's not a lot of info out on these pistols for whatever reason. They just like to say that it has a black slide and a black cold hammer forged barrel, but 4.5 inches. Now, the mags. Nothing's perfect, guys. So this is going to be a knock on this pistol and a bonus on this pistol. This comes with two 15-round SIG 226 mags. But check this out. A 15-round pistol. We have the HS 2000, okay? We have the Glock 19. We have the Stoeger STR9. There's tons of guns right in this 15-round category, and historically we call those compacts. whereas a full size would be like a 17 round, maybe 18, and then our subcompacts go into 13 rounds, 12, and now we have micro compacts. So Taurus G3, 15 round magazine, also ships with a 17 round magazine, which we'll see here. That's all loaded up with some Federal HST. All right, we're clear. This is actually a compact pistol, 15 rounds flush. Now here's let's get to what the little issue is here. This actually has more of a duty size or full size grip frame, being substantially longer and larger than the G3 frame, the Glock 19 frame, the Stoeger SDR9, and the HS2000, but it only comes with 15 round mags. Check this out. These mags are not labeled as such. They're not labeled at all, actually. I think these are Metgar mags, and I'll do a more in-depth magazine specific video to this gun later, because it's already going a little bit long, as most of my initial unboxings do, right? So these are the real high polish variety that we've seen. Metgar has a couple different styles of finish, and these appear to be the old classic high polished blued Metgar mags. 15 rounds. But check this out. There's a dimple right there. For those of you that live in band states, you're quite familiar with this dimple, and what that does is it puts a dimple that does not allow the follower to come down any lower than this. So we're basically wasting the last almost inch of this magazine, and I'm going to show you guys what's up with this. So it comes with two 15 round mags, 226 pattern. Well, I don't own a 226. However, I do own a couple of Taurus G2Cs. Definitely check my older videos if you're interested in the Taurus G2C or G3, and I totally love them, okay? I'll just leave it at that, because if you get me talking about Tauruses too much, I might forget all about this and turn this into a Taurus video. But for my Taurus pistols, I had purchased this 20 round SIG 226 mag, and this is a Metgar. I had also purchased an 18 round SIG 226 mag, and this has my Bloody Wheels grip sleeve spacer on here to make it where this 18 round mag fits flush with the G2C, and I've definitely done videos on this too. But check it out. Let's take this sleeve off of here. This is an 18 round Metgar 226 mag, who I believe makes these 226 mags. This one's 15. We can see the limiter dimple right here. This 18 has no such dimple. So check this out. Let's get these lined up. These mags are completely identical, guys. If you look at here, the Metgar mag is proudly labeled Metgar made in Italy, but let's look at the rest of it here. Mag catches are in the same spot. There's a little hole on each of them in the same spot on the bottom, same spot on the top. All of the cutouts are exactly the same in the feed lips. The followers are basically identical, even down to the little cutouts for our slide stop are identical. The little divot there, okay? So basically what we have here is 18 round mags, and for whatever reason, I have no idea why. I don't think we'll ever be able to find out why. These were shipped in the United States with 18 round SIG 226 mags that were limited with this physical crimp, if you will, here, divots, to 15 rounds. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. So here we have the 15 round mag that comes with the PX-9 pistol. It goes right in there, holds the slide back on the last round. Okay. Now here we have the 18 round Metgar. This is the Metgar branded, even though I think all these are Metgars between you and me. SIG 226 mag, and look at this. Goes right in there, just perfect. Acts exactly the same because that's what we have. So they're 15 round mags. There may be a way someone can alter this. I don't know. You know, look at your warranty. Probably would void the warranty on the mag if you did. If you guys are comfortable with that, or your gunsmith is, you might be able to do something about this. I'm not going to give you that advice because, like, again, you know, you guys can decide if you want to risk running your mag or not. So 15 round mags that are the same shape as an 18 round mag. So I wanted to make that clear to you guys. when you see 15 round mag, you think to yourself, okay, 15 round flush fit mag. This is going to be the size of, say, an HS 2000. All right. Or maybe a Glock 19 is something you're familiar with. Or this STR 9 with its 15 round mag. Or you might be thinking Taurus G3 that has its flush fit 15 round mag. No, no, this actually has a 1/2 inch longer barrel than the G3, and it has a grip frame that holds 18 rounds, because the SIG pattern always seems to hold that extra round more than like a Glock or such. So you could actually compare this grip frame to a Glock 17 size, which would hold 17 rounds. Now I also have one of the SIG 226 Metgar 20 rounders. That's going to go right in there because it's the same mag body. It just has a +2 base plate. So if you guys have one of these for your Taurus G2C or G3, you're in luck. So yeah, the mags, like I said, there's good and bad with them. I think it sucks, quite frankly, that they give you two 18-round mag bodies that have been physically limited down to 15. I wish they were 18, right? Because, hey, I don't have any kind of mag limit in Michigan, and for many of you who do have magazine restrictions, it's usually not 15, it's like 10, right? So, I don't know. But the cool thing is, I have some of these SIG 226 mags for my Taurus pistols that are going to work just fine in here because they're not kind of sort of compatible. Whereas the Taurus, they tend to work. I've done videos on it. Not quite as well as OEM, but the SIG 226 mags are the OEM for the PX-9, so you should be completely good to go, right? Now, here's another thing that's interesting for you Taurus guys, because you probably want to know. So, obviously, since this Taurus G3 will shoot with this SIG 226 mags from Metgar, this is going to go right in here, too. These are the 226 style mags that came with the PX-9, and as you can see, it's just a larger mag. So even though it says 15, it's really an 18 round mag, and just shoot it like this, you'll be fine. Obviously, same thing's going to work with your Taurus G2C. If you've had good luck with the SIG mags, you can try it in here. Some of you have had perfect luck with the SIG mags. I've had pretty good luck with SIG mags in my Tauruses, with the exception of a little bit of an issue. You guys can go back and check the Taurus playlist if you're interested in those videos where I've done quite a bit of, work with the different mags in these Taurus guns. Now, unfortunately, though, since this is basically an 18 round mag, right, that is limited to 15, we're not going to necessarily be able to take our Taurus G3 mags and put them in the STR9. So that's going to be a little bit of a downside. So I'll show you right here. Here's my 17 rounder. This is the OEM Taurus G3 mag that came with it. Goes right into the G3. Okay? Flush fit. Good to go. Comes with this factory little grip sleeve. So let's take that off right now, because we know that's going to stop it for sure. Now let's go over here to the PX-9. Still not going to do it, guys. It's just one round short. This is a 17 round mag. This takes 18 rounders, even though they've limited them 15, but you guys get the point by now. 18 round mag body. Look at this. It's just a little bit too short. The base plate of the mag is stopping it just shy of being able to go up and engage in our mag release. So yes, you can take the mags that come with your PX-9, and your results may vary, but they're definitely going to click in, and they should work just fine with your G2C and your G3. But unfortunately, your G3 mags, and certainly not even going to think about the G2C mag, they're going to fit in there physically, but they just won't latch because they're way too short. So look at it like this. Your Taurus G3 G2C mags, don't think of those as extra mags for this, because they just won't work. However, the mags that come with this, okay, the PX-9, those could serve as extra G2C and G3 mags. And likewise, if you've done what I have, and I think a lot of you have, bought the 20 round Metgar 226 mags or the 18 rounder for your Tauruses, now you're in business. Now we do actually have extra mags for our PX-9. So that's pretty cool. So one more thing that I find very interesting, and I bought this from Classic, and there's no mention of this on the website at all. There's a little insignia here. I'm going to see if it can focus. It's very lightly roll marked. And I was reading it the best I could. And it's going to be so hard, guys, for me to actually get this because it's not even really, I guess you could say very lightly laser etched. There you go, right there. Take a close look at that. That's about the best I'm going to be able to do. And it's this weird little crest. Well, I got to reading it closely, and I thought I read Philippine, National Police. And I said, that's interesting. So I went and looked it up, and the Philippine National Police, this is indeed their official crest. So I don't know the story on these because nobody's sharing it, but I'm kind of putting two and two together. This pistol hadn't really been available in the United States before. It was available for just a little bit, and I bought this about 3 weeks ago. And then they were sold out. Will more come back in? I sure hope so. I don't know. Okay? I don't know, but these are out of stock. I'm guessing that these may have been a contract overrun or something where the Philippine police backed out or something like that, because these were definitely made for the Philippine National Police with their official crest there. Which is not too surprising because upon me Googling the Philippine National Police, and by the way, shout out to all the Filipino viewers. You know, I have some of you guys that watch my videos, and I'll tell you what, I've never been to your country before, but all of you Filipinos that have left me comments in the past, you guys are the nicest, most polite people. So I definitely wanted to give a shout out to all of the viewers from the Philippines. So you guys are awesome. But this is the official crest of your national police. And when you go to Wikipedia, you're going to see that there's a couple pistols that are their official handheld weapons. So I'm looking here and it says they're all 9mm pistols. The Glock 17 Gen 4, they have about 70,000 of those in service. So that's number one by far. But we also have about a little less than 2,000 IWI Masada pistols. And here's where it gets interesting. The Canic TP9 SF Elite-S. It says there's about 10,000 of those. So we can see there's a history of the Philippine National Police buying Turkish pistols, right? And then we're also going to see the Taurus TS9, the striker fire pistol that was supposed to be for sale in the US by now, but for some reason they just won't bring it to market. The one that takes inspiration from the BB6 that I've done a couple videos on. It says they have about 2,000 of those. This does not make the Wikipedia list. So this is either something where the Philippine police, the Philippine National Police, are getting ready to start fielding these, and these are just a contract overrun, or maybe this is a contract that just kind of went awry. But so there you go, a little piece of interesting trivia. This is a Filipino National Police marked pistol. It arrived to me in obviously brand new condition, so I wouldn't call it a surplus. Sometimes we do see this though for military and police stuff where it's, you know, new old stock surplus or just overrun or in some cases canceled contracts. So if any of you that are living in the Philippines know any police officers, or maybe you are a police officer yourself, share with me if you know anything about this. I know this is definitely your official, you know, state police crest, your national police crest. It's on the pistol. I see there is some, you know, moderate amount of Turkish, in the case of the Canic, you know, pistol use in the Philippines. This does have a safety on here, a manual safety. So that kind of reminds me of a police pistol. And then the other thing is this holster. Usually when we get holsters like this that come kind of as freebies or part of the package, right? They're not a retention holster like this. This is a mechanical retention holster that kind of reminds me of something that a policeman would use, right? So I'm kind of putting two and two together. So yeah, pretty interesting pistol. I'm going to do a side-by-side where I actually tear these down. But we can see right away there's definitely some inspiration off of the HS-2000 Croatian service pistol. Again, another company in the United States has been importing these under another name since then. Very popular. The takedown on this is very similar to the Croatian HS-2000. You're going to see that right there. The grip feels comfortable, guys. It's kind of got that alligator skin grip on the side, which is very nice. I don't like a lot of grip on the side of my handgun because my grip is mainly coming from the front and the back, and this is exactly how it needs to be for my particular grip. We've got horizontal serrations here, which is nice because the pistol usually wants to move up and down, right? It doesn't usually move side to side, so I never understood why a lot of pistols have vertical. But no, we've got horizontal in the front, portion of the grip frame here, horizontal serrations in the back, three-way adjustable back strap. That's nice. This reminds me of the same texture actually as my Tangfo Witness P CZ75 variant. I call it kind of a, you know, snake skin type, alligator skin, whatever. It's kind of got that little pebble grain, but rather smooth. The polymer feels nice. The pistol feels very well balanced in my hands. I'm going to throw one of these. Should be an 18 round mag, but it's really a 15 round limited mag in here. Yeah, natural point of aim's good. When you look at this tritium night sight in the daylight, which I have a bunch of lights all around me for filming, it's just kind of, I pick up just a solid black post, to be honest with you. You can see a hint of white in there, but your eye isn't really drawn to it. So the front sight is going to be good for night shooting. You might like it during the daytime. You might draw a little ring around it with some white paint. I've seen people do that before with their night sights, carefully. That might be a little suggestion. But yeah, overall, right out of the box, I said the trigger feels okay dry firing it, but the shoe's very comfortable. So when I go to shoot this and I'm not analyzing and I'm not doing the whole keyboard commando thing, and shout out to all you keyboard commandos, by the way. So, especially the ones that know more than me about everything. You guys are awesome. But you know what? When I'm not sitting here just going over it like real, okay, it's not a terrible trigger. It feels okay. But I think when I get out to the range, the comfort of this shoe is going to take over. And I hope and think that I'm going to like it. So the trigger feels fine. Ergonomics are good. I like the fact that it comes with this whole package. Just little things. Mag loader, 3 back straps, 2 mags, a nice form-fitted custom case that has all the right little spots in there for you, and the foam inserts. That's pretty cool. Hard shell case. It's not a Pelican, but hey, $280 for everything. Think about it. A lot of times it's $280 for just a pistol with 1 mag with none of this extra stuff. I'm actually looking forward to trying out this holster. This is pretty cool, okay? I kind of like that retention holster. This might be a good pistol to open carry at the Michigan Second Amendment rally that's coming up here on the 18th in about a week, because retention holsters are always nice if you're in a crowd, right? So there you go. Yeah, the sights are pretty cool. Cold hammer forged barrel, that's definitely a plus. We're going to take it apart and see what we find on the inside in the next video. But overall, I'm pretty happy I bought it. And I think it's pretty cool that this actually, again, it's either part of a contract that never was or is going to be soon, Philippine National Police. Because they don't just put this on a Turkish firearm for no reason, guys. There's definitely a story behind this. And please, I'm hoping somewhere there's a Filipino that might know a police officer that can tell me some more, because there's something to this, guys. This doesn't just happen for no reason, right? So, yeah, made in Turkey, imported by SDS out of Tennessee in the U.S., and at one time, this was probably destined for the Philippines. Picatinny rail's cool. Yeah, so far I'm pretty excited. It seems like a lot of these Turkish pistols lately have been pretty cool for budget deals. I'm really liking my Stoker, I'll tell you guys that. One more thing I'm going to leave you guys with. I'm going to make an educated guess here. This one. If you remember my follow-up video, it didn't do so good on the cheap Federal 115 grain plinking ammo, right? But it did great with the Wolf, which I found actually quite frequently to be a little hotter than a cheap brass 115 grain. And certainly the little bit hotter 9mm 124 grain NATO ran great. So I'm going to try it with all 3 again. I can tell you though, I can feel this definitely has a very high poundage, very stiff recoil spring, which again, more durability long term, right? Also going to have less fault recoil, faster follow-up shots, and it's not going to affect me in this way, but for all the women out there, which I love women that are getting into shooting, and the last thing you want to do is have their hand get sore where it's obnoxious and then they don't get the chance to really love firearms and then be able to protect themselves. I've seen it happen too much. So these stiff recoil springs are excellent for someone with a little bit weaker hand strength, elderly, things like that. And yeah, I think this is probably going to like the Plus P ammo or self-defense ammo a little more. But we'll find out. You guys will be the first to know right along with me as soon as I take it to the range. And for those of you that didn't see my STR9, here's a quick tip for you. If you ever have a pistol with a stiff recoil spring, a lot of people are inclined just to hold it with their right hand and just pull with their left. Pull, and sometimes they just can't do it right. I can do it, guys. But you get my point. Try this. Try holding on to the slide here, serrations, holding on with your shooting hand, and do this. Don't just hold solid here, but push with your right hand and pull with your left hand. So you're combining the force of both. I'm doing this. It's going to make it so much easier for you. And I actually had a very polite lady that came into my Stoger video and said that today. So I'm going to always try to include that as a tip in these videos. Stiff recoil spring. Hey, get the power of both hands together. I'm pushing with my right hand and pushing back with my left. It makes it twice as easy as just putting all the pressure on that left hand, or in many cases your weak hand. Oh, one more thing. Let's check out that loaded chamber indicator and see if this will feed just a couple snap caps. Alright, these are realistic type snap caps. They're the same size and weight and everything is a real round. However, there's no primer in there, no powder. These are inert in every way. These are just for practice, for loading, unloading, and of course, for dry firing. So we're just going to throw 2 in here. That should be enough to see if everything works good. We're going to insert the mag, locks into place firmly. We're going to rack the pistol to the rear, just let go. New shooters out there, trust me, when you rack the pistol, just let go. I see so many people that nurse it forward, and that's almost a sure way to get a failure to feed. So, should have a round chambered in here. Yeah, it feels like it's sticking out just a little bit in the front. So there's your loaded chamber indicator part. I mean, this is real subtle, guys, but it's there if you know what you're feeling for. So there you go. My striker also is preloaded right now, ready to be released. So I'm going to fire on the snap cap. There's no cameraman, guys. I'm just showing you guys what it looks like for review purposes. And there we go. We fired. Now we're going to go ahead and cycle the action. The snap cap came out. We've got one more. Loaded up just fine. Slight protrusion on this extractor. Left the next one out and it held open on the last round. So yeah, I want to emphasize it one more time, guys. This extractor barely sticks out. I mean, just a little bit more. It's not a true loaded chamber indicator like you're used to on the top of certain pistols, but hey, some of you are going to be happy it doesn't have this up there. Some of you are going to be bummed out, but it is what it is, and you can slightly feel this external extractor sticking out just a little bit. But we do have our front serrations for you to take a peek in there and press check. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I thought this was an interesting little pistol. You don't see a lot of these. In fact, the only video I've seen of it is the one that Classic put out, and they do good videos. Clint does a good job. You know, I really like that channel, and Clint's a nice guy, but of course they're the ones selling it, right? So I thought I'd put out my own independent, unbiased review because I bought this pistol with my own money, and just thought I'd tell you guys what I think of it. And so far, I feel like it's an excellent value. I'm excited to get it. I'm really excited that it takes SIG 226 mags, so I can start playing Legos back and forth with all these mags I bought for my Tauruses and vice versa. Do I think it's a shame that they crimped these 18 round mag bodies down to 15? Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm a realist. 280 bucks, complete package. The cool little Filipino police story here, the insignia. I know there's a story behind it, so it's pretty cool. Night sight, front tritium sight. Yeah, I'm saying Citium instead of Tritium. I think it's time for me to get off, guys, but I'll definitely have a follow-up at the range of this very soon. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to down in the comments on this pistol. You're going to see me shoot it, okay? Do you want me to do a takedown? Do you want me to compare it to the HS2000 a little more? Because the manufacturer says that this PX-9 is inspired off of this design. I'm noticing some differences right away, so let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. Do you want to see me switch the mags around between the Tauruses and the 226 mags. That sounds like fun to me too. Similar price here. $240 with the 1 magazine. $280 with the 2 magazines and all the kit. So we've got the Stoeger STR9. That might be a neat little comparison. See which one likes which ammo. See which one I like shooting better. So, yeah, plenty of fun things to do videos on. And for those of you looking forward to seeing the next Taurus G2C project pistol, I've taken it out to the range a while ago and shot it with plus poundage, the 18-pound stainless steel recoil guide rod spring assembly. And I have a couple people that join me at the range, so you'll get to see a couple different shooters shoot that very soon and get their opinions on it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I might like this pistol. Let me know if any of you guys got these or if any of you are looking forward to these. They're out of stock now, but hopefully they'll be back in stock soon. And I didn't do it on purpose, guys. They became available. I bought one, and of course, on its way here, they sold out because we're in kind of weird times right now, and it seems like nothing's staying in stock long. But I hope all of you guys are safe, and I wish all of you well. All right. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.